Yeah, hi friends, my name is Chandan and welcome back to my channel Energy and Environment Education. Friends, today again I have brought a new video on carbon footprint. I hope you have watched the first video where I have given the basic understanding and basic definition of carbon footprint. If not yet, please watch the last video or the first video on carbon footprint that I posted on my channel. And today's topic is what is carbon cycle. It's also a very important topic because if you want to understand the carbon footprint, you should understand the carbon cycle as well. So in this particular video, I'm going to discuss basic understanding of carbon cycle, what is carbon cycle all about, different steps of carbon cycle. So please watch the video till the end, friends. I hope you like the video and the content of the video as well, friends. And please do subscribe the channel if not yet, and do share the video with your colleagues and you know uh, whoever you think the video is important to them, friends. So let's start the video today. What is carbon cycle, friends? So before you understand the carbon cycle, friends, it's very much important for you to understand the few basic concepts or few basic points on carbon, friends. Like the movement of carbon from one area to another is the basis for the carbon cycle. So when you're talking about the carbon cycle, it's nothing but the movement of carbon from one area to other area, friends. I'll be explaining the concept of this particular point in my later slides, friends. But for the time being, you should understand that carbon cycle is nothing but the movement of carbon from one area to another area, friends. Secondly, carbon is important for all life on the earth. So any life you see around you on the earth is made up of carbon, friends. And also carbon is important for all life to exist, all life to sustain on the earth, friends. So all living things are made up of carbon. These are very basic points that you should understand, friends, before you understand the carbon cycle. Now, another point, carbon is produced by both natural and human made or anthropogenic sources. So by this point, what we mean is the carbon emissions, friends, or the carbon footprint. So carbon emissions are emissions which are produced by both natural ways and also by human made or anthropogenic ways, friends. So these are two sources of carbon emissions. Now let's try to see, friends, how and where in what way the carbon is found in the nature, friends, or you can say different sources of carbon that is found in the nature, friends. So carbon is found first of all in the atmosphere, mostly as carbon dioxide. Animal and plant respiration place carbon into the atmosphere. So when you exhale, when you breathe, you are placing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, friends, carbon is found. Secondly, carbon is found in the lithosphere in the form of carbonate rocks. So you can see not only in the atmosphere, also in the rocks or in the lithosphere also we see the carbon presence. Carbon is also found in fossil fuels. So any fossil fuel we talk about, the petroleum products we talk about, crude oil, coal, and natural gas, there the carbon presence is there. Also the carbon is found in the soil from dead and decaying animals and animal waste. So any waste you talk about or any decaying animals you talk about, there also carbon presence is found, friends. Then carbon is found in the biosphere, that is in the plants and trees also there is a presence of carbon, friends. Carbon is found in the hydrosphere, dissolved in ocean, water and lakes. So any water body you talk about, there also carbon is present. So what you can see in this particular picture is in nature, being atmosphere, lithosphere, biosphere or hydrosphere, anywhere you talk about, everywhere you see the presence of carbon, friends. So in nature there are different sources of carbon present, friends. So as I said in the last slide, friends, there are different sources of carbon, and carbon is present in the entire nature, everywhere in different forms, friends. So one of the source of carbon into the atmosphere is a volcanic activity as well, friends. So when you see any volcanic activity going on, a lot of different types of gases is emitted. So carbon is one of the major gases which is emitted during the volcanic activity, friends. So volcanic eruption is one of the sources of carbon into the atmosphere, friends. In the last slide, friends, we saw how carbon is emitted in the atmosphere naturally. Like volcanic eruption was one of the examples that was shared in the last slide. During volcanic eruption, high or large amount of carbon is emitted into the atmosphere naturally, friends. But not only naturally the carbon is emitted, also there are different activities by humans which also leads to high or large amount of carbon emissions, friends. Like suppose deforestation is one of them. When we cut down trees and forests, they can no longer remove carbon dioxide from the air. This results in additional carbon dioxide placed in the atmosphere. So deforestation is also one of the reasons why there is high or large amount of carbon is there in the atmosphere, friends. Wood burning, when we burn wood, the carbon stored in the trees becomes carbon dioxide and enters into the atmosphere. So wood burning also is one of the sources, or you can say reasons for the uh, large amount of carbon emissions in the atmosphere, friends. Combustion of fossil fuels. So any fossil fuels when you burn, that also leads to the carbon emission, friends. So these are some of the different human activities which leads to carbon emissions or high amount of carbon emissions in the atmosphere, friends. So I hope, friends, by now you have got a better idea, fair idea on what carbon is all about. So let's try to understand the carbon cycle, which is very easy to understand and also very much important for you to understand, because if you want to understand the carbon footprint or more on carbon, so you should know the carbon cycle, friends. In the case of a carbon cycle, you can see in the picture itself, friends, it's very easy, this picture to understand, friends, where carbon is moving from one area to other area. That's what the carbon cycle is all about. So if you recall, I have discussed in the earlier slide that carbon cycle is nothing but the movement of carbon from one area to the other area. So if you see the picture here, carbon is moving from the atmosphere to the ground, back to the atmosphere. This is the entire cycle of the carbon, or consider the, this way the carbon cycle gets completed, friends. So if you see one example here, in the case of tree, friends, so carbon dioxide is absorbed by the tree during the process of photosynthesis. Now when the tree decays, that tree gets decayed and forms the fossil fuel. This fossil fuel, when burnt in the factory during the process of manufacturing of any product in the factory, friends, carbon dioxide is again released back to the atmosphere. So you see how the cycle gets converted. Carbon dioxide coming from the atmosphere gets into the trees, again it decays and makes fossil fuels, and back to the factory where the factory emits the carbon dioxide, and the entire cycle of carbon is completed, friends. Same you can see the example of animal also. Animal respires carbon dioxide. Also you can see when it decays, it becomes fossil fuel, and again this fossil fuel goes to the factory where the carbon dioxide is released. So this way the cycle of carbon or carbon cycle gets completed, friends. So it's very much important for you to understand, also very easy to understand, friends, the carbon cycle. So these are some of the steps of the carbon cycle, friends. So carbon first present in the atmosphere is absorbed by the plants for photosynthesis. These plants are then consumed by animals, so carbon gets bioaccumulated into their bodies. These animals and plants eventually die, or as I said, decays, and upon decomposing, carbon is released back into the atmosphere. Some of the carbon that is not released back into the atmosphere eventually becomes fossil fuels. These fossil fuels are then used for man-made activities, which pumps more carbon back into the atmosphere, friends. So these are the different steps of the carbon cycle, where carbon dioxide absorbed from the atmosphere by the tree gets decayed, and also during decay the waste is produced. That waste also releases carbon dioxide, and also when the waste is converted into fossil fuel goes to the factory, in the factory the carbon dioxide is back released back to the atmosphere, friends. So this is the entire steps of carbon cycle, or you can say this way the carbon cycle gets completed, friends. So I hope, friends, through this video you must have got better understanding on carbon and also the carbon cycle all about, friends. So please do be connected with me, friends. Stay connected and keep watching my YouTube channel for more videos on carbon footprint and other sustainability topics, because in coming days I am going to post more such videos on carbon footprint, and also not only carbon footprint but also on different sustainability topics. So if you really understand, trying to make your career on sustainability, or trying to understand sustainability or carbon footprint or related topics, friends, please be connected with me and keep watching the videos on my YouTube channel, friends, which is Energy and Environment Education channel, friends. And last not the least, friends, please do subscribe my channel, friends, if not yet. Also please like the video if you feel the content is good enough for you. Also please share the video, friends, with your colleagues and your friends whoever you think the video can help them understanding the carbon footprint in a better way, friends. So please watch the videos. Also other videos I have posted on this channel, please watch them, just to help you to have better understanding on carbon footprint and also other sustainability topics, friends. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching this particular video. Let's meet in another video on carbon footprint, friends.